I now have a big problem with the quarterback I love, Robert Griffin III. I now have a bad feeling about this quarterback and this football team because of something I wrote that was posted on Friday on ESPN.com. I quoted a Redskins insider I really trust, telling me that RG3 in the last month or so has made it clear to the coaching staff he wants to move away from the read option that they exploited so successfully last year, that he sees himself as more of a Peyton Manning of a pocket passer. And you know, I have said since his Baylor days, he is a tremendous pocket passer, a whip of an arm that we saw on several occasions yesterday. But you know, I also feel this, Stephen A. What electrified that football team last year, what made Alfred Morris, a 6th-round pick from Florida Atlantic, Alfred Morris, the second leading rusher to Adrian Peterson, was the threat of the read option, the threat that the quarterback could keep the ball and go the other way, untouched for 8 or 10 yards.
Okay.
So last week, Robert said all week, hey, if it's there this time, I'm going to run the read option. I'm going to keep the ball in the read option. Baloney.
Let's preface our comments by saying that we're both fans of RG3.
Huge.
Have profound respect for him as a professional, as a player, as a person. But he's not flawless. And I've been on record on numerous occasions holding him accountable for the state of affairs that exist in terms of the pulse, the culture, the spirit of this team. And in the end, what it comes down to, Skip, is that you're absolutely on the money, especially piggybacking off your comments that he told the coaching staff this. I find this to be reprehensible, to be quite honest with you. I don't want to hear that from RG3. Whatever it takes to get it done. You're trying to dictate the style of play that you want to incorporate. This comes across as a dude that's really, really feeling himself, if indeed.
Which is what you said the whole offseason.
That's right. So now let's look at some of the numbers. You completed 65% of your passes last year. You're about 63% right now, which is not a big fall off.
No.
You already got 4 interceptions on the season. Last year, total, you had 5. His passer rating was 102 last year. Right now, it's 84. His QBR, which is the statistic that you love so much, was 71 last year. It's 26.6 now.
Yeah, because see, the QBR is not letting him get away with the garbage yards at the end of the game.
Exactly. So you take all of those things into consideration, and what do we have here? We have an individual that was hyped because of what he brought to the table as a rookie, but he bought into all of the hype. And as a result, he got to a point where he started trying to dictate things you don't have a right to do when you are that relatively inexperienced in the NFL. If you have Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Drew Brees years, even if a Donovan McNabb was still playing and you put in that much time, then you have a point. But when you are a rookie and you think, and your daddy is quoted, and clearly he thinks that you can go to an NFL team who've invested millions upon millions of dollars in you, and this is a multi-billion-dollar establishment, that you're going to tell them what you want to do and how you want to do it. You have brought all of this on yourself, and that's what this comes down to. The Washington Redskins right now, as you have said on many occasions, will go where RG3 takes them. And clearly RG3, you know what? We don't know whether or not he's capable of taking them to those places that we once thought he was capable of. How you feel about him compared to Andrew Luck now? You see, it's a little bit different now. You know why, Skip? It's not just because Andrew Luck is bigger and bulkier and more prone to play the prototypical or conventional offense, but it's also because Andrew Luck is about the business of football. He's not about the business of Andrew Luck. He just goes out there and he plays. The Indianapolis Colts, what did they do? They weren't protecting Andrew Luck. Did he say a word? No. The owner came out and said, y'all better protect him. This is my investment, okay? Andrew Luck just went out there and played football. And what happened? The Indianapolis Colts find themselves 2-1. They are winning football games. They rolled into San Francisco yesterday and straight up beat them down, okay? This is what's going on with Andrew Luck, the #1 overall pick in the same draft as RG3. There's a reason. These are the kind of things that teams look at, because you got to remember, now it harkens us back. We weren't thinking about all of these things before. But now suddenly you're paying attention to RG3 saying after a win at Baylor, I think it's clear who the Heisman Trophy winner is now and stuff like that. These are the kind of things
he said, I think I just won the Heisman.
These are the kind of things that factor into the equation because they're looking at your personality, your makeup, and they're wondering how problematic you could potentially be in terms of attitude. Doesn't make him a bad guy. Doesn't mean he wasn't worthy of being the #2 overall pick. Doesn't mean he wasn't worthy of all the hype we gave him. What it does mean, however, is that the hype that was given to you wasn't for you to confiscate for yourself. You were supposed to fall back, play football, and leave all of that bantering to the rest of us. RG3 has not done that, and as a result, he's paying the price right now because he's being severely humbled. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, even with all of that said, let's not absolve Mike Shanahan and the Washington Redskins. This loss wasn't on the defense yesterday.
No,
obviously,
they played better relative to what they were.
They played better relative to what they were. They did not play awful by any stretch. No. Calvin Johnson's going to get his. With Calvin Johnson doing what he does, you know Nate Burleson was going to feed off of that.
He did.
Both of them got over 100 receiving yards yesterday. Matt Stafford could throw the football. He's a quality quarterback in this game. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, let's call a spade a spade. Mike Shanahan and the Washington Redskins have not looked ready for this season. They have looked ill-prepared to start this season. They, you know, whether it's defense, whether it's offense, whether it's special teams, all of this stuff, they have not looked. I mean, what has Josh Morgan done to you? I had a friend tell me yesterday, you know what, she longs for the days of Brian Mitchell returning punts and kickoffs for the Washington Redskins. Because you know something, you know, bottom line is that in the end, what it comes down to is you don't have anybody on special teams. And, of course, I listen to her because she's gorgeous, but that's a different story for another day. The point that I'm trying to make to you.
I can attest to that.
That's right. There you go. So the point that I'm trying to make to you is that all of these things considered, I'm not making it up. All of these things considered, in the end, what it comes down to is the Washington Redskins are not what we thought they were going to be. RG3 is not what he should be. And dare I say, Skip, in the end, it is clear he lied. You were not 100%.